So Russ, what do you think of the purpose that the JIC is serving here, and what's it going to do to the marketplace?
Brings a lot of alignment. I think the challenge for the last 12 months has been there's so many different cooks in the kitchen regarding what buyers want, what sellers want, and even different kinds of buyers have different requirements and different kinds of sellers have different requirements. So at a very high level, I think it really drives clear alignment towards what buyers and sellers are looking for in a solution. So for a company like ours, who's a measurement provider, it makes it really easy to ensure that we're building the right solution for the North Star.
I mean, isn't it always going to be a challenge though that brands are going to kind of want to do things their own way, every individual plan?
Yeah, I think the devil's in the details. So there's like levels to standards, right, or dictation. So there's 10 levels. And in the past, it was things like, yeah, we should have a modern currency. What does that mean? And then I think what the JIC has done in their standards is that it provided another layer down of like these pillars that's open and transparent. I didn't memorize it, but there's like 20 or something different kind of things that they believe you have to do. Then there's many layers to the cake in terms of how you want to use the metrics, or whether you want to guarantee on reach, or you want to guarantee on advanced audience, or whether you want to use reach, or whether you want to think about sales outcome data. So there's so many things that brands and every account teams are still going to choose. End of the day, it's going to be a solution between a buyer and a seller. So I think the JIC provides a higher level framework, but doesn't even get close to dictating how a buyer and seller should be utilizing solutions.
What are you seeing in the marketplace right now with the upfront approaching and this renewed interest in alternate currencies?
Yeah, well, I think today's an interesting day because as we're talking, news broke from Ad Age that a lot of the industry that was not going into a VideoAmp or alternative currency was planning on and getting pricing on Nielsen big data. And according to Ad Age, that they just decided that they're going back to their panel. So it's kind of an evolving story, but that's a pretty big deal because what our clients are saying, we got like a couple hundred clients just in the last 12 hours just speaking about, I can't now plan and buy and measure on the same data set, even on legacy systems. So there's a pretty big windfall of clients that are now moving to planning off of the VideoAmp currency, a lot more than it was 24 hours ago. So I think it's going to be very interesting because we've had the solution for a couple of years with 3 years of data. So there's a lot of precedent, and so I think that for the first time in history, you're going to see a lot of advertisers opt in to use no legacy currency and then go all in on new systems.
Can you just share? You've signed a number of important partnerships recently. Can you share some of the big ones?
Yeah, we've announced. Over the last 6 months, we've announced almost every major media company that is offering VideoAmp measurement and/or currency for these upfronts. And some of the more notable ones have been NBCU, has been Paramount, has been Televisa Univision, has been Disney, the Weather Channel. So we've had a lot of good successes, but what I'm most excited for is, I think last week we announced about 12 advertiser case studies on currency. And so what's cool about that is I feel like the industry has been talking for the last 18 months regarding, hey, alternative currencies, and there's a lot of benefit. But if you're asking me, it's been a lot of tell, not show. So we spent a lot of effort to try to get 12 different advertisers who have been doing actual real guarantees to show the results and tie it to what matters for them, which is their sales lift. And it's pretty cool to see that in every single scenario that just using a VideoAmp currency over legacy increased their sales lift according to their sales data. And when you then layered on more advanced activation, meaning looking at advanced audiences versus just demos, it had an even bigger uptick. So anywhere from 10 to 30% conversions when a buyer and seller used VideoAmp currency over legacy, which can equate to billions of dollars in sales increase. So to me, that's what's most important, because when I started the company 9 years ago around the thesis that bad measurement is going to drive down sales, I always thought about it, but never really knew until we got a bunch of advertisers actually showing us case studies. Now we have over 100 advertiser examples of this. We just were able to publicly talk about 12, but it's very exciting, and to me that is what the industry needs to start doing more, is showing actual case studies regarding what it does for sales. And that's what this whole thing's about. It's not just about, we're not here to just make change for no reason because people are passionate about it. We're here to drive business value and increase revenues and shareholder value and better for the consumer. So the 12 case studies we put out is the start of many more to come, and I think the future of our industry.